Just doing my Wenger out sign for today's episode. Yes, that's right. Today we play Arsenal, which means for the first time the management duel. I finally come up against Arsene Wenger.
I'm afraid Arsene Wenger isn't at Arsenal anymore.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
But wait, who's in charge then?
Luis Enrique.
I mean, what's the point? What's the point? What's the point? Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Revitalising Villa. This is episode number 19 and today, as you may have saw in the intro, we are going up against Arsenal. We are taking a trip to the Emirates, but we are not, and I repeat not, facing off against Arsene Wenger. Disappointing. As you can see here, Arsene Wenger is no longer at Arsenal. He is manager of the French national team. He left in the summer of 2018, so just before the season we're on now. And yeah, he resigned. So Wenger out, hashtag Wenger out, worked in the end. I'm disappointed. I was looking forward to going up against him. I mean, they're probably going to beat us, but it's quite saddening. Maybe it'll happen. He's 69, so he hasn't got too many years left, you would think, but you never know what's going to happen. So let's just move on. Since that last episode then, that 1-0 win over Wolves, I'm not speaking about that Leicester result, that's gone, getting it out of our minds. In the Carabao Cup 4th round, we were defeated by Manchester City, a 3-1 loss. James Bree was sent off, Lewis Morgan got on the score sheet, which was good. But can I just point out these Manchester City goal scorers? Nasir Chadli and a double from Danny Ings. I mean, on Football Manager, you get some very, very weird transfers and some that make you go, right, okay. Danny Ings? Nasir Chadli? I mean, come on now. In league action, we beat Watford away, a very good result here. Lewis Morgan and Jamie Hansen had us 2-0 up after half an hour. Etienne Capoue pulled a goal back, but tactically we were pretty good in that game, I've got to tell you. We saw out the game, we did very, very well. Very happy to win that one. Jonathan Kodjia a 6.2 again. He's gone off the boil recently and the fans are starting to get a bit worried, which isn't good to see. We played Manchester City again 2 times in 3 games. A bit weird. This time things went a lot better. A 0-0 draw at home. We went defensive and our defence paid off. A 7.2 from James Bree, 7.1 for James Chester, John Souttar 7.2, Joe Bryan 6.8, and Andy King didn't have a good game at 6.3 either. Again, a 6.2 for Jonathan Kodjia. So I don't think he's going to play today. To be honest with you, I'm not expecting much from today's game. The league table then looks a little bit like this, and still there's a whole lot to play for. Only 11 games gone, of course, but we're sat in 13th, 14 points from 11 games, 4 wins, 2 draws and the 5 losses. We sit 8 points ahead of the relegation zone, which is pretty good. And after the Arsenal game, we do play Swansea, who are sitting exactly where we are, really, the exact same sort of results, same points, just a place below us. As long as we don't get beaten too badly at Arsenal, we should be able to get something from Swansea and push us further up the league, hopefully. For the first game at the Emirates, it's the 4-1-4-1 that has worked so well for us lately. Galini in goal, Bree, Souttar, Chester and Bryan, the same back four from that good result against City. Jamie Hansen sits in the defensive midfield. It's a Doma on the right, King as the Carrillo and Hourihane as the Mazzala. Those two are the more sort of defensive-minded midfielders, especially King rather than Lewis Baker. Morgan on the left is the attacking outlet for us really to focus on. And I'm going to play James Wilson up front as the complete forward rather than Jonathan Kodjia. I think it could work a little bit better, and hopefully that's what will happen. By the way, Arsenal come into this unbeaten in their last 5 games and are 3rd in the league. They are going strong under Enrique this season. This is the Arsenal side we come up against then. There's a few new names you wouldn't expect. Moussa Dembele is signed from Celtic, so he is a handful on this game, definitely. Theo Walcott has been in some great form. I looked at it beforehand. It's Walcott and Welbeck on the wings. Coquelin is still there. He's gone to Valencia in real life, but he's still there in the game. He's got Horta in the midfield. I don't know too much about Andre Horta. 22 years of age, Portuguese, pretty good stats, valued at 41.5 million. Coming from Braga for 35 million, and to be fair, in 10 appearances, 1 goal, 1 player of the match, but a 7.5 rating. He's doing well in defensive midfield. They also have Rodri sitting in front of the back four, 22 years of age. Again, a defensive midfielder valued at 23 million. They've signed him from Villarreal, and again, he's done very well as well, really. In the 8 appearances he's had, 6.89 rating. Pretty good. Also in the back line, there is Manuel Akanji. He's a man that I've heard his name mentioned a few times. He's a Swiss international. He's 23 years of age. Pretty good stats for a centre-back as well. When you consider, if you look at these, the main ones, they're all at 15, 16, 17, whatnot. He's a very good player, actually. And 10 appearances, 2 assists, 7.57 rating. So he's going to be a rock at the back for them. I will say the Deadpool rule is still in effect for this one. If you missed it in the last episode, basically, I was wearing a Deadpool shirt. I had a new Deadpool shirt, and I wanted to do something to commemorate it. So, the first player that I will have signed in this save, so the likes of Sutar, Brian, Hansen, King, Morgan, the first one to score on camera gets nicknamed Deadpool. Yeah, it could be anyone. I'm really not expecting much from this game, to be honest with you. It's going to be a difficult game. It's going to be hard to keep them at bay. As long as we sort of defend resolutely and look like we can sort of perform, then I'll be happy. That's a weird long ball, and it's not really worked out. And Horta comes forward. That's first sort of sign of him. He's got some pace. He's come flying forward, the Portuguese man. He's crossed it in. Sutar's header will fall for Walcott. Dembele to Coquelin, and there is the opening goal for Arsenal. He's taken them 11 minutes, and it's a very, very good finish from Francis Coquelin. Not the start you were looking for, but I will keep it on the defensive formation for now. It's another Arsenal highlight. Walcott's free kick in, flicked on by Monreal, and that's just over. Galini's goal kick from the header though, and he's straight over to Adoma. Can Wilson get onto this? He can't. Mustafi is strong. That's the problem. I don't know whether Wilson against these two centre-backs, Akanji and Mustafi, can really cause an issue, while Arsenal look dangerous coming forward again here. Andre Horta, he's the man to watch. Horahan can't get near him. The pass wasn't the greatest, and Brian, who's been booked, has to deal with this and finds Morgan, who's also been booked. Lost out to Bellerin. Rodri to Coquelin, the goal scorer. Coquelin's pass. Brian intercepts, but it's Arsenal who are dominating possession at the moment. Horta to Walcott. First touch is still awful, even at this point in the game. It's a cross into Welbeck. Dembele's there, and Danny Welbeck has turned it in. Galini does not really fill himself with pride there at the near post, does he? I mean, just take a look at this again. Walcott's deep cross. Welbeck heads it down to Dembele. Touches. I mean, is that an own goal? What's happening here? We've been utterly dominating this first half. The score is only at 2. We haven't defended particularly well, and it could get worse with 4 minutes to go till half time. Welbeck flying forward. Dembele, good tackle, and it's going to lead to nothing. They're just coming back at us. Welbeck. Horta, that's a great touch from him. Andre Horta gets the shot away. Really good play from the central midfielder, but Galini makes a top save, really. Nobody is particularly playing well in this first half. Colin Calderwood wants me to tell them that they've done pretty well, but we aren't expected to play well. That's the problem. I'm going to say you've been unlucky so far, and that seemed to work. Tactically, at this point, the game's already over unless we do something to go for it. So I am going to do that. Adoma and Morgan can push forward as wingers, and I'm worried about the left side. Morgan's worthy to keep on. I'm not going to keep Brian on. I'm going to get Van Arnold on there, and just play him as a wing back on attack. Actually, let's focus on this left side and bomb forward a bit more. I'm going to stick it on attacking. We're going to go for it. Why not? I'm also going to bring Codger on for Wilson, who hasn't done anything. I think Codger should be more of a handful in theory. If only had one shot, it's bumped straight up to 2. That's a good start. It's an Arsenal free kick though, and Andre Horta has found Walcott into a bit of space. Walcott on the right side. Can he find a cross? He does do, and it's nodded over by Rodri, the defensive midfielder signed from Villarreal. He should have made it 3-0 there. Another free kick for Arsenal. Cazorla finds Walcott again. It's take 2. Walcott, can he find a cross? He's found Horta on the edge of the box. Horta's shot has touched onto the post by Galini, and Dembele is there to tap in a third, but it's been disallowed, so, you know, still only 2. And Holding's there into Walcott. Theo Walcott, good save by Galini, who's made a couple of them today. He's had to make a couple of them because Arsenal have been leagues apart from us at the moment. I'm not going to get upset though. This is what I expected. We are nowhere near level with an Arsenal team yet. nowhere near. Game is ticking by. 20 fouls from us is quite weird. Lewis Morgan's picked up a knock as well. He's going to have to stay on for the final 4 minutes. Is Walcott on the edge of the box? Theo Walcott. Oh, well, that's... I mean, seriously? He's been disallowed again. Dembele, he just wants a goal. He's been disallowed again. I'd have been annoyed if that went in, to be fair, because that counted. It should be full-time. There is the full-time whistle then at the Emirates. And it is Arsenal who win, just by the 2-0, though. And I'm not too disappointed with that. Galini had a good game in goal. James Chester at 7.1 at centre-back wasn't bad either. 6.8 for Jamie Hansen in defensive midfield, and Conor Hernandez 6.9. Not the greatest sort of ratings, but you would argue that considering if you look at those match stats, we were outplayed and dominated. It could have been worse. Maybe Arsenal took their foot off the pedal. I'll take 2-0. With that win then, Arsenal have gone top of the Premier League, so you're welcome, Arsenal. You're welcome. Ooh, Lewis Morgan. He took a knock at the end of that game, which pulled knee ligaments. That means he's going to be out for more or less 2 weeks. He's going to miss the Swansea game. That's a blow. Okay then, so after a nice trip out to the Emirates, it's back to business here. And this is the sort of game I think we need to concentrate on winning this year. Swansea at home. Sort of lower mid-table sides. A side that will hopefully be around us more or less at the end of the season. You have to win these sort of games, especially at home. I've made a few changes for this one. The defence stays as it is. Galini, Bree, Sutar, Chester and Brian. Jamie Hansen, the defensive midfielder, because he's the best option. It's either him or King, and he fits the role better. And he's done very, very well, in fact, this season. He's been very, very good for us. Andre Green comes in on the right ahead of Adoma, who just has gone off the board a little bit. And Andre Green deserves a bit of play time, so he's going to play today. Baker as the Carrillo comes in instead of King, because he's more of an attacking threat. In a game where I think we need more of an attacking threat. It's Hurahan as a Mazzala. Grealish comes in on the left rather than the injured Morgan. And I'm going to play him as an inverted winger on attack because he can play that role quite well. And it's all about him cutting inside onto his right foot. So it should give some licence to Brian on the overlap. That'll be good for us. Kodja comes back in up front. I just think he's our best option. Wilson is not that good. You've got Lewis Malt, but I'm not convinced. I think Kodja's our best option. I'm also just going to change the team shape to fluid, but keep it on the counter. The fans might not be happy with it, but I think this season, particularly for us, it's about hanging in games and taking our chances. We did it against Wolves in the last episode. Can we do it again today? Swansea did lose their last game, but both form are very, very similar. 2 wins in the last 5 for both teams. We're at the same sort of level as them, with 13th versus 14th. So if we can win, well, whichever side wins, we'll go up at least 1 place to 12th. So they'll go above West Ham, so that's something. And once again, the Deadpool rule will be in full force. There's less newbies in this one, unless the defender scores from a corner, the likes of Sutar or Brian. I'm looking at Hansen, I'm looking at Baker. Those are the players, really. The rest are all Aston Villa originals, which is a little weird. You do have Jagielka, King, Wilson, Van Arnold, Perez and Van der Veer on the bench though, so it could change. Does Johnston count as a newbie? He's not going to score as a goalkeeper, of course, but does he count because he was here on loan and I signed him on a permanent? Just in case the freak happens. Swansea then are playing the 4-3-1-2. This is where it may come to our favour because we have fullbacks on the overload. I'm going to change it just before we start. They're on defensive fullback at the moment, but they are going to go as wing backs for this game because we can take advantage of these areas here today. They have some very sort of weird names in their side. Ricky van Wolfswinkel. He was at Norwich, of course. I thought he was a very good striker, and he went to Norwich and didn't do anything. I mean, if you look at his history, in Holland he's been brilliant over the years. 20 goals for Vitesse there. 14, 15. It was his spell in Norwich that sort of ruined his career. He went to France and got 5 goals. Didn't do well in the Spanish First Division. Hasn't done well in Basel on the game either. Didn't play at all, which is weird. He signed for Swansea for £4 million. He's got a goal and assist in 7 games. So he's probably going to score. So it will be these wide areas that is all important for us. If I do change the team instructions as well and really focus, don't clear the ball, play the ball out of defence and focus on this, looking for the overlaps. That's where our real sort of attacking threat can come from. I'm expecting a tight game. As we saw really with the form, it's 2 sides that should match each other. Breeze throw in, it will come back for him. Breeze cross, Grealish can't win the header. Can Brian get there? And he does. It's Lewis Baker now. Space for Brian on the left. He finds him again and Brian should be able to find a cross here. He does. It's Kodja, brings it down and the volley was tipped wide by Fabianski. It was a brilliant brilliant effort, and we will have the corner in the highlight. Hourihane, there's a man free at the back post. It's Van Wolfswinkel heading away for Swansea though, and Grealish, will he keep it alive? Or will this be the end of the highlight? Hansen, Hourihane, it looks like he's going to keep it alive. Andre Green, I've lost my words. But it's the end of the highlight, isn't it? So, Bryan, Hansen, Sutar, or Baker. Those are the boys on at the moment who could be renamed. I don't know who it's going to be. I would quite like it to be Ayoze Perez, because I just don't like that name in general. It's Hourihane's free kick then. It's crossed in, headed away, and Hourihane is onto it again, the Irish midfielder, who, with the new Brexit laws, won't count. It's Kodja. I'm going to stop talking because it's 1-0 to Aston Villa, and it's assist by James Bree. It's a lovely, delightful sort of floated cross across the field as well. Not from the wide position, but I mean, if you look at this here, Hourihane went back to Bree and he picked his pass well. Is Kodja onside? He is. 33 plays him on across the line, and Kodja's back in with the goals too. Brilliant. Brilliant. I was talking about Hourihane though, and because of his Irish nationality, he becomes what is a foreign non-EU player, which is just bizarre. 1-0 then. It's been a very tight game, but we've had the better of it. They may have had more shots, but all 4 of our shots have been on target. We've had a couple of good chances. I'm very happy with how this is going. Grealish isn't playing too well. 6.5. Hopefully we'll see more of him in the second half. We'll give him some time. I'm going to tell him I'm very happy. Probably should have said don't get complacent, because anything can happen in the second half. It is all about the wing backs today. Bree started well. Bryan started pretty well as well. It's good to see him getting into these areas. Look, now Bree needs to get an overlap, but Green, yeah, well, Green's the one that's going to take on his man a bit more. It's all about the left side really. Grealish and Bryan. Bryan is actually playing very well. The two fullbacks, 7.2 and 7.5. It's Grealish's free kick for Villa. Crossed in. Baker's flick on, and Kodja should have made it too. That is a bad miss from the King. That is a bad miss, and I hope that doesn't come back to haunt us. Once again, Jamie Hansen, a 6.9, a solid sort of near 7 rating for him again. He seems to be doing that quite a lot. Hourihane looking for an overlap. Baker's mopping up, and Hourihane to Grealish. Grealish says, look at the space for Bryan, and Baker does. Finds Bryan. The cross in. Kodja's flick, and I think it's an own goal. I think it will go down as an own goal. He says Kodja finds the net. It seemed to hit the crossbar and hit the goalkeeper and go in. It's a brilliant assist from Bryan, and I just saw there, it's his 50th goal for Villa. Jonathan Kodja hits 50. Good stuff. Maybe dropping in worked again. Bryan's cross, Kodja's flick, that definitely is an own goal. I'm sorry, Jonathan Kodja. If that was real life, that would get taken away with you like that. I'm sorry. I know it's your 50th goal, but we'll have to accept that. Okay, then with the game more or less in control. It's dangerous to say that, but the game is more or less in control. It's time to make a few changes, I think. I'm going to bring Grealish off and play Ayoze Perez behind Kodja and push Bryan up a little bit more as the wing back on attack. Actually, he likes it better like that. You know what? That's what we're going to do. Full back on attack like that. I know there's a gap there, but that's for Bryan to maraud into. That's the idea. Kodja is on a hat-trick, but I am tempted to bring him off. We've got James Wilson there, who could come on. I shouldn't really bring him off if he's on a hat-trick, to be fair. I'm going to bring on King for Baker in the Carrillo Road. A bit of sort of legs in the midfield. I don't want to bring Bree or Bryan off. They're playing well, even though I've got 2 fullbacks on the bench. So Jagielka will be the man, and we'll bring off James Chester just to solid up that defence. Final 10 minutes. It's a very, very pleasing win this so far. Although there's 10 minutes to go, Yohan Cabaye, Palencia, their fullbacks are coming forward. It's crossed in, and Galini gathers well. That's very good to see. Now, can we sort of get Perez into the game? We haven't saw much of him since he signed at all, and I haven't been happy. It's going to be Swansea who come forward again, though. Burgett, Hourihane with a great interception, and Hansen to Sutar. And now then, Green. That's a poor pass. Sutar's there again, and it's a bit of a weird highlight so far. Here's Bryan now with the space that he's got. He's found Hourihane. We're missing a winger there. To be fair, I'm not sure whether it's the right move to do it. We'll see here. Ayoze to Hourihane, who goes into the space left by Grealish's substitution. And there's the hat-trick for King Kodja. The man is back in form. The fans don't have to worry. Wonderful play by Hourihane, by the way. Look at this midfield run. It starts there, and he sees that space. Look at that space that he sees. Ayoze Perez's pass is good. Hourihane's cross is perfect. And Kodja says thank you very much for the 51st goal of his Aston Villa career. It's a hat-trick too. It's Villa 3, Swansea 0. And, I mean, 12th place. We are flying. We are flying. There's chance here for another maybe. Galini's long kick. We haven't saw much of Green in this game again, which is disappointing. It may be a Swansea highlight this. Kodja got a foot in now, and Jose Perez now. King. Find Green, and he does. Andre Green. Haven't saw much of him at all. Haven't saw much. Jose Perez's pass was poor. That's over the top towards Borja. Jagielka has to be careful, and the experienced defender did just do that. Here's Borja again now. Great tackle by Jagielka too. Wonderful stuff. Look at the space for Perez there. He's gone towards Kodja. Wasn't the smartest pass. And Swansea come forward again. Horvath to Borja to Berget. Wonderful finish by Berget. A very good finish for his first ever Swansea goal. They says here a lifeline. It's more like a consolation really. If Swansea get another, then I'll be a bit more worried. It's a smart pass by Borja, and Berget's finish is really, really good, to be fair. Really good finish. It's 3-1. They've had more shots in the game, but I think we've had the better chances. We've played well. I'm not fussed about them having more shots, to be honest with you. It's a okay, that was a bit close. 8 seconds to go then, and it's the hat-trick from King Kodja that's done the business for us today. Fantastic. Honestly, fantastic. Joe Ingeberget got a goal for them. That's one hell of a name. But it's the 3 from Kodja, as I say. And it bumps us up to 12th place. We've gone above West Ham. The battle of the Claret and Blues, by the way. You know, just saying. Just saying. But 17 points from 13 games isn't a bad comeback, really. 5 wins, 2 draws, and 6 losses. It's middle of the table stuff, which is better than I was expecting so far in this season. It could change. We've yet to really hit a bad patch of form, which is dangerous words, isn't it? And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end to episode number 19 of the Revitalising Villa Football Manager series. And you know what? I'm pretty pleased with that. I was expected to lose at Arsenal. I'm not fussed about that. We put in a so-so performance, but we kept it down to 2, and that's what mattered. And we got the result when it mattered. Swansea at home, those are the games you need to win, and we did just that. King Kodja has proven he can be a Premier League striker. I'm very, very happy with that. The next episode, I think we may see another big team. Probably 2 big clubs. Anyone fancy Chelsea and West Ham? Well, I do. See you then for the next one. Until next time, from me to you, goodbye.